Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 8, otherwise known as the 100th episode for The Flash, otherwise entitled, What's Past is Prologue. But of course, before we get into the rest of the video, let's actually watch that trailer.
Go back to the past to defeat Cicada in the future.
If I do this, I'm going back to some crazy time. Savitar, Dawn, Zoom.
And who is this?
I knew we shouldn't have done this.
Things just got a lot more complicated.
I knew we shouldn't have done this.
So wow, if that trailer doesn't get you excited for this, then I don't know what will. What do I have to like bring a cake with like all the characters on there or something like that? Or do they have to bring back like introduce new speeds or something? Like what has to get you, what has to be put in that episode to get you excited? Like seriously. But obviously last episode, I guess the main thing to talk about going into this episode is the fact that they found out who Cicada is. It's all in Dwyer. They know who he is. They're closing in on him. So now they can actually figure out a plan around his true identity, because he's not some overpowered speedster, obviously. He's just a normal dude with a pretty powerful dagger. So they've just got to work a plan around that and to, try and take him down. But of course, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, which it contains a lot, there's a lot of stuff that I'm actually seeing people skip over. So this trailer breakdown could actually be pretty interesting for a lot of you. But before we jump into that, we will quickly go over the synopsis or description for this episode, as it does give us a bit of a better idea and a bit of context as to what's going on. But of course, let me know in the comment section down below, what are you looking forward to the most in this episode? And I'm sure there are many things to pick from, but I'm sure, you guys should be able to pick at least one thing that you're looking forward to the most. So let me know in the comment section down below all of that. And of course, 100th episode trailer breakdown. If this doesn't make you drop a like in the video, then I don't know what will. So be sure to drop a like on it, show your support, it'd be much appreciated. In the 100th episode, Barry and Team Flash come up with a plan to stop Cicada. However, the plan calls for Barry and Nora to travel back in time to gather some key necessities. However, Barry hesitates, concerned about his daughter seeing certain parts of his life. Meanwhile, Sherlock takes his concerns about Nora to Iris, and Caitlin turns up a key asset in the fight against Cicada. So the first thing, I could have said at the beginning of the video, but it just seems this is the right time to say it. Congratulations to The Flash on 100 episodes. Everyone involved: Grant Gustin, Candice Patton, Daniel Panabaker, Carlos Valdez, Tom Cavanagh, just the OGs of the show. And then obviously we have Hartley Sawyer, obviously Jesse L. Martin. What am I talking about? Jesse L. Martin's an OG as well. Then we have Hartley Sawyer, Danielle Nicolette, all of those new characters coming in as well, and everyone that was in the show in the past. Congratulations on getting this show to 100 episodes. It's not an easy thing to do on American TV, and let's hope the show can go for 100 more after this. But I just wanted to start off the trailer breakdown by saying congratulations to everyone involved. But we do start off the trailer by flashing, it's the Flash, so we flash through some stuff from the pilot and season 1 in general, such as the Martin brothers and their plane crashing, on the night of the particle accelerator explosion, might I say. We also see Barry's incident when he was struck by lightning, and then we also see Ronnie's incident in the pipeline as well. I'm not too sure if we'll see Ronnie in this episode. We could, it'd be pretty cool, but we'll have to wait and see. And we also see someone going through a small sort of pocket photo album. Now, the hand, and this is no race thing, but it seems to be a white woman. There's a ring there. It could possibly be Caitlin, but my bet would have to be that it's Barry's mother, Nora. It just seems that this would be a photo album that she would have. There is a photo of Henry and Nora Allen, and Henry is looking more like John Wesley Shipp nowadays. Now, they could just retake this photo for this, this episode, because they didn't have a photo like this. Or this could be maybe in the Speed Force or some sort of memory sort of thing. But you have to think this would just be on the, in the past. However, there is also a photo of Caitlin and Cisco, and then Barry and Iris as well. So who knows when this, is taking place and who's actually going through it. I don't know. It could be really confusing. We'll have to wait and see, because it's definitely not in the past. I don't even know why I mentioned that. It's just present day or something like that. So yeah, I don't know who the hell's going through this. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section. Now, Nora will most likely be showing up in this episode, because we do know that they did film some stuff in the old Allen household for this episode, whether it be, the night of Henry Allen's death, or they go there for some Nora Allen stuff. Maybe on the night she died or something else. Maybe it could be some, I don't know, Flashpoint. That would be pretty weird, but it could be Flashpoint if they could even travel back to that point. So I have to wait and see, but you have to think she's in the episode. It'd be a weird 100th episode to have if not only Jay Garrick or Henry Allen was in the episode, but if she wasn't in the episode, because she is such a major part of the show. Even though she doesn't appear in it that much, she's such a major part of the story. Now we're traveling to the past to defeat Cicada in the future. Now this is proposed by Sherlock, or Sherlock, however you want to pronounce it. And man, that is one risky plan. We know how risky time travel is. The show's going to really have to explain it well as to the reason behind the time traveling. Like they can be like, oh yeah, we're traveling to the past because it'll help us defeat Cicada, but they got to explain what needs to be grabbed and why it's of like such importance to time travel back, because the show's made time travel such a cardinal sin. That's maybe one negative that I think a lot of people agree on, that the show has made time travel such a negative thing. It'd be better if the show didn't do that, but if they've done that, they can't really go back from it. But at least we get time travel in this episode, so hopefully we embrace it because we don't get it that often. But even Barry says it, if he goes through with it, he travels back in time, they are going back to some absolutely crazy times involving characters such as Savitar, Reverse Flash, and Zoom. So there's some 3 speedsters coming back, the main villains for the first 3 seasons. I'm sure everyone's excited to see them back, well, at least Reverse Flash and Zoom. Now, the shots of Zoom and Eobard Thawne in this trailer are new shots for this episode, or at least the one where, Zoom's talking to Nora and Barry, and then I think all the shots of Eobard Thawne are new in this trailer. With the Savitar shot one being from the season 3 finale, there's a couple of shots and they're all from the season 3 finale. I'm guessing Savitar could possibly be the CGI version we saw for the first half of season 3, or maybe the location of his scene could be seen as a spoiler, so that's why it's not in the trailer, and it could actually be the physical suit we see. We'll have to wait and see. I'd be surprised they didn't use the physical suit because they have it, so why not use it? You spent a lot of money making it, so you may as well use it when you can. But let me know in the comments, which of these speedsters are you looking forward to seeing the most? Is it Reverse Flash? Is it Zoom? Or is it Savitar? For me, we've seen Reverse Flash a lot. Most of you guys would know I'm not the biggest fan of Savitar, so for me the answer is Zoom. Can't wait to see Zoom back. But speaking of Zoom, it's great to have Teddy Sears back for this. We know he got cast in another show around the time that they were filming this 100th episode, so there was a lot of debate and just general doubt on whether he would be able to appear in this episode. So it's actually amazing they got him back, whether it was just for a day to quickly film some scenes. Who cares? Because I love Teddy in the role of Hunter Zolom. I think he did a great job in season 2. Personally, for me, I think he was almost a better villain than Reverse Flash. It was just really the ending of Zoom's story that was a bit, wasn't that great, which sort of maybe ruined a bit of his character. But I think for the most part of season 2, he was really pushing Reverse Flash in regards to who was the better villain. So great to have him back there, and we know that we'll still hear the classic, I am the fastest man alive, all the Zoom stuff. That's my impression of Zoom. I don't know if it was terrible or if it was good. Let me know in the comments. Decide to bag me out. I don't care. Now we see Cisco writing some dates on the board, which we will actually pinpoint to what those mean in the Flash's past and the past timeline in a second. But at the top though, we can see from left to right, we have something to do with Savitar. It says Savitar something, and it ends with a T, so possibly it says Savitar's suit. It could maybe be vital to their plan, and even in the trailer they do show Savitar's suit breaking from the season 3 finale. So maybe they either need the remnants or the shards from Savitar's suit, or they need to stop Savitar's suit from shattering, and they actually need his suit in the future or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that says Savitar's suit, because I was thinking Savitar's and then a word ending with T. There was nothing of great importance that I could think of. If you guys have any suggestions as to what it could say other than Savitar's suit, let me know in the comments, but that's the best pick I could have. Now the next one is easy to read. That says Speed Force Transmitter, which it did seem that Barry was holding in one of the premiere images that was released for this episode last week or something like that. And we also do see him holding this Speed Force Transmitter at one point in this trailer as well, pretty quickly in an alley. Now obviously, is the Speed Force transmitter have to be, grabbed in the past and brought to the future, or are they bringing a version of it from the, from our time, I guess the present, to the past in order to get Speed Force from Zoom or someone else like that? Obviously, you have to wait and see, but we know the Speed Force transmitter is a vital part of this plan of theirs. And the last one says something explosion. Now this most likely means particle accelerator explosion, because if we're going from left to right, that's season 3, season 2, and now season 1. So what was the big explosion in season 1? That's right, the particle accelerator explosion. So you think that would have to be what is written up there. But the dates under that are quite interesting, and they are actually dates that episodes aired. So the first one is December 11th, 2013, which is the date and episode in which Barry was hit by the particle accelerator. Now this was episode 9 of Arrow season 2, which was the second and final part of Barry's introduction to the Arrowverse. So, I wouldn't say, it's not, I wouldn't bet on them traveling to each of these points in time. They could be writing up like a list of certain moments and where they need to travel to. So we'll probably get like one moment from season 1, one moment from season 2, and one moment from season 3. Maybe a moment from season 4, but that was pretty recent, so maybe they won't feel the need to go back there. Have to wait and see. Or maybe some from season 3 could connect to season 4, so they won't have to travel back to another point. But I wouldn't expect them to be traveling to too many points this season. If I had to give a guess, as I've said, 1 point from each season would most likely be what they were doing, but who knows how much they're going to time travel. The second date is October 7th, 2014, which is actually the date of the pilot episode, or episode 1 of season 1 of The Flash, and this is the one obviously in which Barry wakes up from his coma and realizes that he has become the fastest man alive. The third one is November 18th, which is an episode called The Flash is Born, and this is the episode in which Barry takes on his childhood bully and is officially revealed to the public as the Flash rather than the Streak, which he had been, called for a while, I think ever since he showed up. And obviously he suggests to Iris to call him the Flash on her blog, and that name change is like sort of what makes her blog successful. The episode was also the first appearance of Reverse Flash from memory in present day, when he threatens Joe with Iris's life if he doesn't stop looking into the case of the murder of Barry's mother. So, Joe reopened the case because of what he'd seen at the end of episode 1 and stuff like that. And he's going to dive into that. And episode 6 is when Reverse Flash is like, please stop, otherwise people will die. And the final one is a bit hard to read, but it could either be December 2nd or December 9th. The episode on December 2nd was the Flash vs. Arrow episode, which of course, in a pretty self-explanatory way, was the episode in which the Flash versed the Green Arrow due to the powers of Rainbow Raider. But December 9th was the episode called The Man in the Yellow Suit, and was the first fight between the Flash and Reverse Flash in the current day. So that is most likely the date written down here, but yeah, it was hard to tell, so goddammit Cisco, move your arm so we can actually read properly. If I had to pick one of these, days it would probably go back to, I'd love December 9th, like the episode 9, like the Flash versus Reverse Flash fight. That'd be really cool. But it wouldn't surprise me if we maybe went to the night of the particle accelerator explosion itself, just because it's written up the top there. It seems like that's the priority because it does say Savitar's suit, Speed Force transmitter, and then particle accelerator explosion. So you think that would be the main goal, but who knows? They might have to change certain things up, so maybe they don't affect maybe Barry getting his speed or something like that. We'll have to wait and see. I knew we shouldn't have done this. Now, this is said by Barry while holding the Speed Force transmitter, and they are in the same alley from Season 2, Episode 17, which was when Barry travelled back, knocked himself out in order to pretend to be his past self in order to get some information from Eobard Thawne. And it seems that Barry might knock the version of himself out that knocked the other version of himself out in order to pretend to be that version. So, wow, that's incredibly confusing. It's like, what, knocked outception? There's just too many versions of Barry knocking another version of Barry out. So, it's just like, it's just too much, to be completely honest. Things just got a lot more complicated. Now, this is said by the Harrison Wells Eobard Thawne whilst in the Time Vault in, once again, the times of the Season 2, Episode 17 episode. And I must say, Nora looks scared here. Is it at this point that she realizes that this is Reverse Flash, the man that's in the museum, the man who, the person who murdered her grandmother, if I'm pretty sure Nora would know that? Or is she scared for another reason, possibly due to the fact that she could be working with him in the future? Who knows? But I definitely think this Time Vault scene will be tense as hell for a couple of reasons. Maybe if it is revealed that Nora maybe knows Reverse Flash in the future and is working with him, and then Barry finds out through this means, be a bit dramatic, but I don't think that'd be revealed here. I think it's just more tense because of the whole Reverse Flash situation, but this is probably the scene I'm looking forward to the most, as well as the Zoom scene. But at the end of this episode, Todd Helbing, the producer for The Flash, or the showrunner, did say there'd be a big twist that would roll on into the back half of the season and basically set it up. So what will this twist be? Now, my prediction is that it's the new secret from Nora. I think it's going to have to do with, as the synopsis says, Sherlock's going to go to Iris and, talk about stuff going up with Nora. I think Sherlock's basically going to convince Iris that, something's up here. Nora's hiding something, and then maybe Nora will have to confess to everyone, or at least Iris and maybe Barry and maybe Sherlock as well, what's going on. And that essentially could be who she's working with in the future, or maybe something else that's really vital to Cicada. And also the twist could just be something in general with Cicada. Maybe when they go to travel back in time to grab some stuff to maybe take on Cicada and defeat him, it actually changes the timeline a bit and actually makes him a bit more powerful, or changes his origins up a tiny, tiny bit. Because, spoiler alert, Cicada's still filming. He won't die in the mid-season finale. there wouldn't be enough time in this episode regardless. So if you thought that was going to happen, then I don't know, because there wasn't going to be enough time to have a final battle like that anyway. So that could be something that happens. But I mean, I'm just extremely interested to see what this twist is at the end, because Todd Helbing has hyped it up. So hopefully it isn't disappointing. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video, show support for the 100th episode and just the channel as a whole. In the comment section down below, let me know what you're looking forward to the most in this 100th episode. I'm sure there's a lot, but try to narrow it down to maybe 1 or 2 things. So it'd be awesome if you could let me know down there. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.